things from the Sunshine State. On Fridays, we like to feature news from the state that never disappoints, always serving up a little something offbeat. This is Friday Fabulous Florida.
It's time for Friday Fabulous Florida.
There is a gigantic alligator in my kitchen.
A look at the weirdest stories from our weirdest state.
We've got it all today. We've got gators. We've got fast food.
Ooh,
We've got lying. We've got fleeing the authorities. We've got guns. It's all in Florida today, and we will try to get to as much
There's never been anything like this.
as we possibly can. I will start with the man accused of slapping a woman across the face with a slice of pizza. It happened during a heated argument. Or that's for the pizza. Yeah. Ortelio Lazaro Alfonso apparently carried out the bizarre attack during a possible disturbance. That's usually when these slap fests get underway. The person who was the slappee, Kim, accused Alfonso, who's 39 years old, of striking her with the slice on the left side of her face during a feud.
Oh, you don't want to get hit on the left side.
No. That is when you know that things are descending to a really bad place.
That's disrespectful.
The man became upset, and then she apparently smacked somebody else who's in the house on their bottom, as they say. Pizza sauce was splashed on the victim's shirt.
Wait, what kind of party was this? Like a pillow fight?
Yeah, I mean, it could go either way. There's a sexual tension going on there, too. She had the remnants of pizza in her hair and near her ear, and sauce was splattered everywhere. My God. It was on the walls and the ceiling of the kitchen, according to the affidavit. He was charged with battery and later released from custody. A Florida man is accused of driving 100 miles an hour to get his girlfriend to an interview at Taco Bell. Yeah, you don't want to be late for those Taco Bell interviews. Why call ahead and say you're running late when you can drive 100 miles an hour in the 40-mile-an-hour zone?
Usually you have to speed on the way home.
I get it.
Because it's Taco Bell.
Thank you.
That's why it's funny.
100 miles an hour in a 40-mile-an-hour zone, but it wasn't just that. The thing that is Florida about this is there were 3 children inside the car. Yeah.
And the guy had a suspended license.
Oh, my gosh. That is the hat trick.
Well, they do serve breakfast now for the kids.
The man, later identified as 22-year-old Javon Jackson, told the cops that he was speeding to get his girlfriend to a job interview at Taco Bell. Yeah.
He wanted that discount.
I'm guessing she didn't get the job.
He was pulled over at, the area of DeGroot Road and Gate Street in the Palm Bay area. Are you familiar with that, John?
Oh, yeah. It's right by the Whole Foods.
Florida man is spotted hand-feeding an alligator while relaxing in a stream.
Wait, hand-feeding or feeding a hand?
Yeah. Well, it starts as hand-feeding and it ends up feeding a hand. It is illegal, by the way, and you probably know this if you're a frequent visitor to Friday Fabulous Florida, to feed the gators, okay? It's illegal to feed alligators there. And here he is in YouTube while he's relaxing in the stream, giving a piece of pork from his pork loin sandwich to the alligator. And then the alligator swam away. Yeah. That could go any number of ways. A lot of them are not good.
The alligator's probably like, I'll be back.
Exactly. Yeah. Thank you for getting my digestion started. A wanted man who fled from arrest was taken into custody. This is in Largo, Florida. Pinellas County law enforcement They tracked down a man who eluded the deputies. According to the sheriff, they nailed 40-year-old Kenneth Emery around 9:20 in the morning. He learned, the sheriff did, that Emery was wanted for petty theft. Tried to arrest him, but he fled on foot. I love that. He was seen northbound on Seminole Boulevard with one handcuff around his wrist.
Ooh, it's a wild idea, but it just might work.
Deputies from Pinellas and Pasco counties, they closed in on him.
Oh, it was a joint
Searched
effort.
for him. Took several hours, though, before they nailed him. In fact, they were unable to locate him at the time. A day goes by, and they locate him and take him into custody. Doesn't seem like they're the sharpest.
Well, and
There's a
conveniently,
reason that this place is fun.
he still had the handcuffs, right? So that's convenient.
He had one handcuff on and one
Right.
handcuff, yeah. An armed Florida man in a devil mask is stopped by strip club security guards.
What?
That's what I said.
Sounds like
Doesn't get
Maverick.
much more.
Police. Florida cops are thanking several strip club security guards for preventing a potential mass shooting. Wow, this is a serious story. They blocked a man with a loaded gun who was wearing a devil mask. He was trying to get into the club, and in dramatic surveillance video that was released by the Tampa Police Department, 44-year-old Michael Rudman can be seen wearing a red and black devil mask, and he tried to get into the strip club. He
It's a
allegedly
word from
walked,
the Lord.
Yeah,
This is a word from the Lord, and he's not happy.
the devil masks don't go over well with the Lord. He allegedly walked toward the entrance of the venue with a firearm in one hand and a flashlight in the other. And the cops thank the security guard outside the club, who's 55 years old, a guy named Manuel Anthony Resto. He goes by the nickname Manny, apparently. He spotted the guy, thought it was a prank. And then he started thinking, wait a minute. And this is a quote, "I've worked security for 30 years. I know a lot of bouncers. I thought it was one of my friends playing a trick on me, and he didn't say a word. I was waiting for the punchline, and then all of a sudden, he came right up to me, and he was a very big man, very big. I saw him raise his hand, and he had a gun. When Resto saw the firearm, he moved to stop him, knocked the weapon out of his hand. Surveillance video shows the devil masked gunman fought with Resto. Resto grabbed the gun and pointed it at Rudman. I concentrated," he says. "I concentrated on the gun. I grabbed his gun and his wrist with both hands. I turned it toward him, and then we started, banging around. What I wanted to do was get him on the ground and get the gun away from him. That was what I was trying to do." A single round from the gun was discharged. It hit the front door of the club. No one was hurt.
That's an issue with Halloween, people bringing masks to the bars. Because think about it, you're on video, but if everybody's wearing a mask and they got a weapon.
You can see the entire encounter. You can see Albert's put up a couple of stills on our YouTube channel right now. Pretty scary. Really is.
Good old Manny.
Manny, it's weird that Manny went first to, it's a practical joke, But
I would have been like, hey, there's a cover charge, sir, at the 2-drink minimum.
There were 200 people inside the club, by the way.
Well, he's probably never seen anything like this before.
There is...
There's never been anything like this.
A Florida man threatened to bomb Papa John's. Is there anything less American? It's just unreal. And he was doing it while ordering a pizza. Yeah, he was arrested after allegedly threatening to bomb a Papa John's when he became frustrated while ordering this pizza. It was 1:30 in the afternoon. It was in Lakeland, Florida, about 35 miles east of Tampa is where Lakeland is. An employee got into this argument on the phone with a customer who referred to himself as Jay, and he hung up. Man later identified as 24-year-old Johnny Vega. It's a great name, Johnny Vega.
Yeah, that's a Florida
Sounds like
name.
a lounge singer name.
Or a
yeah.
Vegas name, yeah.
Yeah. He called back, threatened to kill the employee, and said he can bomb the store. Well, that's I don't know.
Ooh, it's a wild idea, but it just might work.
I think it's not a very good idea.
What?
It's unclear what caused Vega and the employee to begin arguing. The employee gave Vega's name, phone number, and address to the cops. Vega denied ever calling the restaurant when the cops arrived, but the reality is, of course, you can just check
My
your
bad.
phone.
I'm sorry.
A man has stolen groceries in Florida,
Uh-oh.
and he took them from the Dollar Tree. Is there anything less
It was wrong,
American?
it was stupid, and I'm trying to be a better person.
He's from Fort Myers, Florida, walked into the Dollar Tree in Estero Town Commons. He went to the food aisles, gingerly placed items in his shopping cart, amassed about 26 food items, they say, walked out of the store, past the register, through the doors. Well, that is a pretty solid plan, I have to say. You know, you get the
Ooh,
stuff.
it's a wild idea, but it just might work.
That just might work. San Francisco, it would work. You put
Yeah,
the
but if you
stuff
go to
in
the dollar
cart.
store, it's just a misdemeanor. You know, if you go to
Right.
Whole Foods, it's a felony.
Yeah, that's exactly right. You got to
Yeah.
pick your store carefully. So this was not a covert operation. It was all right there in plain sight. There he is, looking a little tired. John Rizzolo, 20 years old. The manager stopped him and said, "You know, you got to pay for those." He said, he's not going to. And there was an altercation. Rizzolo lunged 3 times at him with a knife. And the manager called the cops. And Rizzolo was charged with aggravated assault, as you might imagine. So,
I kind of feel like if you're that desperate that you need 26 items from the Dollar Tree, take it. Go ahead.
well, I agree. It's a little Les Miserables for me. You know, there's a whole stealing the piece of bread because you need it, and Javert chases you down. In this case, the manager would be Javert. I'm going to grant you that there might be more here underlying this story, but that's not what we're about, Kim. We're about the lunging with a knife. And even in Les Miserables, the guy didn't have a knife. Yeah, there was not, so I think
There's
once
no
the
dollar
knife
store
is introduced.
either. If that was a dollar store in Les Miserables, it's a totally different story.
Yes, right. And that might be the upgrade for if they ever reboot Les Miserables. Make it a dollar store, I'm just suggesting.
Like a
I don't know.
like one of those live action on ABC.
Yeah, right. Thank you. Exactly. So, and finally, in the Florida legislature, and you might have seen this because it's been around for a couple of days, it took us all the restraint that we could muster not to run this a couple of days ago. In the Florida legislature, they were testifying in committee, you know how they do, and they had their Phil McCracken moment. You know, the
Phil McCracken.
yeah.
Phil McCracken.
They indicate, who is speaking and they call them out by name because you register on a list. Albert, please share the magic from Florida.
Floridization of counties. Waves in opposition. Pamela Birch Fort, Florida State Conference of NAACP branches. Waves in opposition. Anita Dick is an opponent. Waves in opposition. Holden Hiscock is also an opponent. Waves in opposition.
What?
Jimmy, Florida Apartment Association. Key, Florida Station.
There it is. Yeah.
Wow.
They had their moment. They had their...
Eileen Dover.
Yeah.
Eileen Dover.
Right. Yeah. They had the Eileen Dover moment there. And with that, my friends, that is Friday Fabulous Florida for today.
This has been Friday Fabulous Florida.
There is a gigantic alligator in my kitchen.
Y'all come back now here.
We don't want to do it, but the bylaws of Friday Fabulous Florida require it, that we pick a favorite. And you can indicate what your favorite is in the chat. I'll review for you what we've just heard. The Florida man accused of slapping a woman across the face with a slice of pizza. There was sauce and pieces of pizza in her hair and all over the walls and ceiling. A Florida man accused of driving 100 miles an hour with kids in the car
This is
to
him.
get to a Taco Bell interview for his girlfriend. There he is.
Yeah.
After the arrest. A Florida man spotted hand feeding an alligator while he was relaxing in a stream. There it is. All of these images may remind you the danger, the delight. It's all right there.
If they're not dead, they're going to be dead soon enough.
Well, yeah, they're living on the edge. I will grant you that.
If they stay in that water any longer,
Yeah,
it'll
right?
expedite
Yeah.
the process.
I
They're
think
going to
it's
be in
fair
another
to-
story.
They
Stay
really
tuned.
don't understand what they're getting in.
You just don't get it, do you?
You don't,
You don't.
you don't get it. The wanted man who fled from arrest, later taken into custody. That was the guy who ran away on foot. The armed Florida man in the devil mask who was stopped by the heroic strip club security guard. The Florida woman. I didn't get to the McDonald's story, did I, Albert? Oh, sorry about that. Well, for next time. The Florida man who threatened to bomb a Papa John's while ordering a pizza because he got into an altercation with the person on the phone about his order. A man stealing groceries, Les Miserables style, from the dollar store, and he pulled a knife on the manager. And then finally, the Florida legislator, where Anita Dick and Holden Hiscock were both.
You have some drops there, Albert. You want to cut those?
They were both there.
Phil McCracken.
Yes,
Phil McCracken.
they were both waiting to testify. Yeah.
I bet they were.
Now I need to come up with a favorite. As I say, let's turn to you, visiting producer John Daly.
I have to go with Taco Bell because, sometimes you really want that friends and family discount.
Okay, the guy was going 100 miles an hour to get the Taco Bell. Wow.
Plus, it's like romantic, right?
It is. He did it
Except
for
for
his
endangering
girlfriend.
the children.
Yeah, that's a good. Kim, how about you?
I have to do it. I'm going Gator.
Yeah, the Gator. That was really, really playing with fire.
Yeah,
the Gator
yeah.
people.
Yeah.
Albert, how about you?
I kind of do like the Taco Bell story just because, like John said, everything about it was romantic except for literally like everything about it. But probably Papa John's, just so I can say better ingredients, better pizza, Papa John's.
Albert, thank you.
I'm going to go for. I'm caught between something that's not particularly Florida, which is the legislature where they
Right.
kind of get pranked. I really love that, but it's not Florida. There's nothing about it that's essentially Florida. Even
It's
though
more
I
like
love the
Bart
story.
Simpson.
Yeah, exactly. It's more like Bart Simpson. So this is a tough one. Now, the reptile, super Florida, the man threatening to bomb Papa John's is just so crazy and stupid. And then saying that he didn't ever call Papa John's when it's right there on his phone. That's
Well-
Florida. Yeah.
The beauty of that is that they already had his address and his name and his phone number. So go away.
Right.
But
You're going to get away with bombing Papa John's when we already know who you are?
Yeah.
And they know his
Yeah.
topping preferences.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a very tough one this week, I have to say. I'm going to go with feeding the alligator here. Yeah, I just feel like that's Florida. It's just maybe because it's the alligator. But I don't know what they did in the chat come down on. Was there consensus at all? I see
It was a
Taco
good mix
Bell.
of a lot. The pizza slap was in there. Of course, we didn't mention that. The Gator, lots of Gators. And then a lot of people were with you, Mark, about the legislature.
Yeah. Very, very tough one. Really
Lots
good.
of
All right.
food in Florida this week.
Yeah, fast food. And I actually left out a fast food story. We'll do it for next week. John, thank you as always. I know you have a real job with real benefits. And
Well, Mark,
appreciate
let me
you-
just say it's an honor to be here on the John Rothman program. So I just want to thank you and thank Kim and
that's
Albert.
a reference to yesterday. Oh,
Burn.
What?
that really was.
Her fill-in job was great. She was doing so well. And then it all came crashing down.
Oh,
You know, they
I
do
love
this
it.
to me all the time. I don't know what the hell they do it for.
Fabulous producer, John Daly.
If you'll remember yesterday, John, it was 2 days ago, actually, I think now. Kim
it was 2
called
days
the
ago.
show.
Can we just leave it 2 days ago? Can we leave it?
No,
at
because
that?
I listen every day.
That's
You're
right.
welcome.
Fabulous producer, John Daly.
I am.
Kim, how are you?
I am.
Kim, how are you?
I'm impressed most of the time by Kim's work.
Kim, how are you?
It just. Anyway,
Come on, you
John,
guys.
we love you. Come back next Friday, will you?
Okay, I will.
Or not.
Hi, it's Mark, and I thought that was great. Hit the notification bell. You'll know whenever there's a new video being dropped, and please subscribe to our channel to help us save the universe.